Welcome everybody, my name is François Letarte and this is my channel JDR-D30, a channel about tabletop role-playing games. Today I'm going to talk to you about a role-playing game that I came to love with time. It's a role-playing game that's not around anymore. It's a D6 based role-playing game, and this game is called the Men in Black role-playing game. Okay, I guess that most of you knows about the movies that was based around the comic book. I never read the comic books. I am a fan of the movies, but well, I'm a fan of the first and the third one. The second one, I never really liked it. I saw it in theater back when it was there, and I was very upset because I didn't like the story or the way it came. But the first and the third one, I really enjoyed those movies, and this is a role-playing game about these movies. This is a D6 based role-playing game. Maybe just a short introduction to the D6 systems for those of you who may not know about it. The D6 systems, your characters have as attributes and skills which are defined by some numbers, and these numbers are a number of D6 dice that you have to roll, and you have to beat the target number. That's about it. You know, if you want to do an easy task, it's you have to beat 10, and a difficult one you have to beat 20, and it's the way to go with the D6 system. So this is a D6 based system. Maybe a short history about the D6 system before it came to Men in Black. Well, the D6 system got very popular with the Star Wars role-playing games, which was a big game in the first mid-90s. It was a very, well, maybe many players got through Star Wars, myself included. It's one of my favorite game of all time. Star Wars, the D6 system before Star Wars was used in a game called Ghostbusters. And yeah, Ghostbusters and Men in Black are the same kind of movie, you know, humor with little science fiction. Okay, for now, the Men in Black role-playing game. Well, in Men in Black, the players play Men in Black agents. That's all, and you don't have to worry much about the background because every character in Men in Black has brought a sponge. They erase their past to get in the ranks of the Men in Blacks, and they have missions regarding aliens. You have access to marvelous technologies that put you above every human being on Earth, and you have to protect the humans from the aliens. You have to protect the humans from their knowledge because they don't have to know that there's aliens around. And yeah, you may also protect some aliens. So you're kind of an agent for the alien as much as for the humans. And if you have saw the movie, that's all about it. So there's a lot of options there to game into the gameplay, and there's a lot of things you can do with Men in Black. For the game system, it's the D6 system. Well, my review will begin maybe with some things I like less about Men in Black. Well, it's a simplified version of D6 if we compare to Star Wars. It's much more simpler. But in some case, you know, they have complicated things in my taste. Okay, in Star Wars you have the 6 basic attributes. In Men in Black, you have 8 basic attributes. That's 2 more. And for me, it's kind of too much because, well, Men in Black is supposed to be a very light setting with a lot of humor. So why having 8 attributes instead of only 6 for a setting that it's less crunchy than Star Wars? Well, the D6 system has this advantage, is that you can modify many things without breaking the balance. So I've removed many attributes, and I've brought it back to 6 attributes. Well, that's something I never really liked about Men in Black, but it's easily fudgeable. It's D6 system. Another thing they use in Star Wars, the damage is rated with wound levels. In Star Wars, you are wounded, you are incapacitated, you are mortally wounded. It's the way they go. In Men in Black, they work with body points. Well, maybe body points goes well with the spirit of Men in Black, but I'm so used to wound levels that I still use them in Men in Blacks. That's it. And also, yeah, well, the way the book is written, they've tried to make a book with some jokes and humor in it, like the movie. Well, the people who wrote that are game designers. Well, so the joke are not as funny, but well, it's, yeah, we can blame the writers of the game who did a good job, but yeah, they're not humorists. They are game designers. So if you read this book to have some humor, maybe you will not laugh as loud as you would expect. Okay, and okay, that's for what I like less about the setting. What I do really like, well, it opened me to a way of dealing with range combat. Okay, when we play in the role-playing games, often we have weapons with range and meters or foots, and you have to calculate all that on the grid, and not in Men in Black. Look at the range chart. Okay, you have point blank, you have short range, you have medium range, and look where the alien is, long range. For me, I think it's the best way to deal with range. He's near, he's far, that's all we need to know, and you make the modifiers according to that. No need to calculate anything. And frankly, that's how I deal with range since then. I've never really changed that. Another thing about Men in Black, well, it's that I really like, but I like the setting. Okay, I am a fan of the movie. It's not the best movie I ever saw in my life, but I like the movie. And this setting is very easy to handle. You know, you are on Earth. It's our world. So you don't have to make much research about how to make your world seems real. It's your world. And you don't have to, since the characters don't have any real background, you can have a very short game of that. It's very easy to set up and to play, and yeah, you don't have to worry about the background of the tone of the game. It's already there. It's all built in that game, and it's for one shots. This is a very perfect game, and for more longer campaigns, I have experienced it, and it's quite okay too. The characters do evolve, and you can have recurring bad guys or bad aliens coming back. That's okay too. So that game, yeah, it's easy to set up, and well, it's easy to go. For me, it's one of my favorite setting for a role-playing game, because it's for its easiness to set up. I'm really happy to know that game. I came to like that game throughout the years. When it first came out, I didn't know what Men in Black was about, and I've learned to appreciate it. Yeah, it's a role-playing game, you know, in your pocket, easy thing. When you are a game master in Men in Black, it's very easy to set out to think about an adventure. Well, because everything is an inspiration. You go to the grocery store, you you cross someone on the street, everything, maybe you can relate everything to aliens in some way. And even in newspapers, sometimes I read a short story about in the newspaper, and we have an ID. I even inspired myself with some aliens kind of short news in the newspaper and take it into the Men in Black. We even have in Quebec province a guy who is renowned to be a UFO-logist. I don't know how to say that, but that guy, François Bourbeau, is a recurring NPC because he knows many things about aliens, and sometimes agents have to interrogate him before neuralizing him. That game is humorous. Sometimes for immersion in a game, players may go out a little bit too much, and because there are too many jokes. But in Men in Black, it's okay. Yes, it's quite well. It's humor. It's a humorous game, so it's okay to make jokes because it will go with the Men in Black kind of spirit. Yeah, some house rules I've made. Okay, something I may less like about Men in Black. It's a role-playing game with body points, and the guns in the game gives some kind of damage. And okay, in the movie you see Men in Black agents getting their guns out and shooting aliens, and they explode in slimes. And the way it's written in the book, it's not possible to do that. Maybe they will lose some body points and still be there to attack you. So yeah, it's very greedy. But my guns, I don't have even the Men in Black guns, the one the agents have. Well, they don't have stats for damage. If you hit an alien, a human-sized alien, he will explode. It has to be like the movie. And I go with that. I check out the movie, I see how it goes in the movie, and I make the technology works exactly like it in the game. Because if you take what is written in the game, well, it doesn't work as well as in the movies. So you want to play Men in Black, you want to play movie-like, so the technology and the guns are like in the movies. So by the way, you are the Men in Black, you have many great technologies, and you have to fight some aliens who wants to destroy Earth from time to time. So you have to be well equipped with very efficient technologies. And believe me, I have made a lot of games in Men in Black, and my players have been in many dangerous situations. Even if their gun could destroy every alien they saw danger, and the Earth, was almost destroyed many times in my games. So it doesn't disrupt the challenge here. And I came to modify the character sheet. It's one I've made. I take the same attributes as Dungeons and Dragons because they just make sense, and it's quite D6. So that game isn't available anymore. Maybe on eBay you will find it. This is the main core book, and also what they had. What they got out back then was some products. There was a Game Master screen and an Alien book, and I think the best product that got out for Men in Black was this box, the Introductory Adventure Game. In that you had all the rules needed. It was very light, very user friendly, and you had counters, maps, some short adventures. Well, it was a great box to have, and if you can get your hand on it, I highly recommend it. That book is good too. And well, that was Men in Black. That was my review. I hope you liked it. Maybe you will check it out because it's an easy setting. I do highly recommend. And for the less good part of that game, well, it's the D6 system. You can modify everything because that system is so modular. You can make it your own and it will work. So it was me, François Letarte, on JDR D30, and I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games.